Good morning, Facebook family and friends. Today is June 21st, 2017. If you've been watching the news, you realize a few days ago, as a matter of fact, last Friday, a police officer was acquitted in the shooting death of Philando Castile. Last Friday, a Minnesota jury found Officer Geronimo Yanez not guilty in the shooting death of Philando Castile during a traffic stop. And a few weeks prior to that, a Utah police officer was also found not guilty of shooting and killing an unarmed man also. All right, so one of the things I dislike about the Black Lives Movement is that they have all these people involved, all this energy involved in it, but they seem to be going about things the wrong way. Ever since the Rodney King verdicts were announced over 20 years ago, Americans, we've had a serious problem in this country with police officers abusing and killing people, overstepping the boundaries of law and getting away with it. So the only way we can stop this is to put something in place, or demand that we put something in place where police officers are held to a higher scrutiny than the average individual. A jury trial of racist white people who side with the police, they're not ever going to convict a police officer of a crime when we know racial tensions are so high in this country. We know racism exists, and may not get a fair trial for the victims in this matter. And these police officers will go free, and it happens too frequently. So we're going to have to come up with a different way to prosecute police officers that doesn't require a jury, but more of a panel put in place to look at what the officer's actions were. Was he correct in the shooting? And then what type of punishment he deserves, whether it's prison time or whatever. I think that would possibly be a better way to handle police officers when they overstep their boundaries while doing their jobs. We're bringing jurors in who have a mindset that the officer is correct when he's not correct just because he's a police officer. I mean, it doesn't make sense, not to me. So we got to change this up. The whole Black Lives Matter movement, the marching and the protesting and the screaming and the hollering and the marching and the protesting and the screaming and the hollering and the marching and the protesting and the screaming and the hollering it's not working. It's not working. We've not accomplished anything. Too much energy being wasted marching, protesting, screaming, and hollering. Where will that resolve? No laws have been put in place or any changes made that will protect innocent people from being shot and killed by a overzealous police officer. So we haven't really accomplished very much. But this is Chick-fil-A's watermelon lemon something. It's actually pretty good, but you could use some vodka. But I was not surprised by the verdicts that came back when these officers went free. Because that's just how it always works. That man, a few weeks in South Carolina, that police officer had a hung jury before he pled guilty to federal charges. He was possibly going to walk. And now that we have Donald Trump in office, I doubt we'll see more federal prosecutions of police officers, even after they have committed heinous crimes. I've seen the tapes and videos, and I remember seeing the video post of the young lady his girlfriend, Philando Castile's girlfriend, posting that her boyfriend had been shot and killed in a traffic stop. How does this type of stuff happen? Well, you have a racist, possibly overzealous, possibly racist police officer who overdid his boundaries. He went too far and should be in jail. But instead, he's walking the streets free, and I don't think he's going to be facing any type of federal prosecution for what he has done in killing this man, innocent man who and I'm sorry, I did say he was unarmed. He did have a gun, but he had a license. He was a licensed permit. He was licensed. He had a permit to carry a gun. So he told the officer that might have been what caused that officer to shoot him. Had he not been honest and just not said a word about the gun, he probably would still be alive right now. But I guess that officer, we all know racist white folks exist. They are everywhere. They're everywhere. We know this. Was this officer a racist white guy? More than likely. More than likely. We know that these things exist, and they do exist everywhere. And that officer took it upon himself to shoot and kill that man and got away with it. He got away with murder. And those jurors let him go. But this is going to continue to happen and continue to happen and continue to happen because we have not went about the right way to put a procedure in place to hold these officers accountable for their actions. Putting them in front of a jury, bringing people now off the street who may not understand what an officer should or should not be doing is not working. It just ain't working. So I find it sad that these officers are able to get away with this mess. I'm sleepy. But it's just amazingly sad that these officers are able to go out and kill an innocent person and walk free, go home and have dinner. That's why I'm not the type of person who's out in the streets a lot. I'm not ripping and running. I'm not going places, especially at nighttime. I don't want to have a run-in with the police because I don't know how it might end. So I tend to, when I'm out there driving, follow traffic rules, and Philando Castile was pulled over by the police officer because he supposedly had a burned out tail light. Then they said he was a robbery suspect. They come up with all this bullshit. When we know that officer saw some black people in the car and he wanted to stop them and harass them and he killed one of them. That's what really went down. He was just a racist white guy. He was a racist police officer who got away with murder. We must understand this. There is no other way to look at this. And there were two black people on that jury, and I'm trying to figure out how two black people sat on that that panel of jurors and could not find this police officer guilty of what he was charged with. I don't understand. When I've seen the videos, they've even released more videos now. That's why I'm doing this video, because I just saw more videos of what this police officer, he got away with murder. Because he was racist white guy, and this is racist white America, and then white folks were not going to convict that police officer. That's what took place. There is no other way around it. And it's going to continue to happen over and over again unless some changes, serious changes are put in place. And it ain't going to happen under Donald Trump's administration. Y'all can forget it. Those of you who didn't vote or did vote or whatever the situation is, Donald Trump in office, it's a lost cause. And don't you all find it odd? All the guys who were involved in the Black Lives Matter, a lot of those guys have lost their lives and they've been dead. About 4 or 5 guys are dead that were involved with that in Ferguson, Missouri. I don't know what to make of that. But I do find it pretty strange that all those men are young men are dead. About 4 or 5 of them. So anyway, I hope this can be corrected. And what I mean by that is we've got to put something in place to hold these police officers accountable for their actions. Instead of throwing them in front of a juror, we need something more precise to really hold them accountable for their actions. They can't just go around just shooting and killing people and getting away with murder. But I don't even know what to say about this mess. This is frustrating. If you like my videos, click like, share them with family and friends. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Guys, this is frustrating me. I'm out of here today. I can't deal with this mess. Today is Wednesday. This is June 21st. The year is 2017. I'm out, and go out and enjoy your Wednesday.